What's up guys? Welcome back to yet another video. So today we are tying a fly I chose to call the Badger because of this great material here. This is Canadian Badger, and it is actually something that I found lying around in my drawers. It's a really great, probably a bit overlooked material. It's soft as rabbit, and you can see it here. It's quite long, and these hairs right here, these, I don't even know what they're called, cover hairs, I guess, are really great for antennas and stuff like that, for shrimp flies and that sort of thing. So let's jump down to the hook and my vise here. But just before we do that, I just want to say I've created a member channel, or a members section for this channel. Please do go and check that out after the video, maybe, and have a look at the stuff over there, because I really want to connect with you guys a lot more, and I want to make more content, and the member channel might allow me to do that. So go and check that out after the video, and let's jump down to the hook here in my vise and tie out this Badger. So the hook here is the NS156 from Ahrex Hooks in a size 8, so fairly small. But this hook is actually quite long, or at least the shank is quite long. I like to say this shank might be equivalent to a size 6, and the hook gape here maybe to a size 8. Great hook nonetheless. So for the tail, I will be tying in some of these dry fly hackles here from Whiting. Of course, you can almost go, I don't know how many colors Badger comes in, but you can of course mix things up if you want to. And if you don't have any feathers like this, you could just tie in a bundle of the Badger as tail. Where are my scissors? Here. So, but for this fly, I'll be tying in 2 feathers for the tail, because it just adds a lot of movement back there. So let me just get 2 on here. I want these on the side of the hook. This can be a little bit tricky, so just take your time with it. Go. See it here. I don't need there. Like so. That's the tail done. Make a dubbing loop. Make sure it's closed properly, and then just get that dubbing loop all the way back to the tying point of those feathers there. Get your tying thread out of the way to just right around this point, because up here I will be making a false hackle with this Badger. But for now, I'll just put it up here so it's out of the way. Get my new dubbing twister on here from Schmein. That name is so hard to say, especially in English. In Denmark we just say Schmein, but it's still a weird name. Nice tool, weird name. Let's get some dubbing into that loop. I've already prepared a little bit here. This is the spiky dub from SLF, and I've mixed in a little bit of flesh. You can see it sparkling there, just to add a little bit of flesh to this fly. So let me open up that loop, and I guess this is something you don't see me do that often, putting dubbing in on the fly this way. But I want it to be a bit stronger, in the middle because it won't be getting any rip. So this is a way to, I guess you incorporate a rip within the dubbing when you make a dubbing loop. So, and try to put in more dubbing towards the end here to kind of get a small taper going. So less down here and more up here. Spin that up. Flying everywhere. So just brush out that dubbing a little bit. Transfer that to my hackle pliers. This just flew everywhere. Now, one thing I would have loved by this tool, just to give it a little bit of critique, you can see it here. It's a really great tool because you can open it like this and all that stuff, but it's round. And what just happened is that I placed this on my table and it rolled off the table and onto the ground, and that's, I don't know, it's kind of just a luxury problem, I guess you could say. But if you would just have made a flat surface on one side, maybe it wouldn't roll off the table. But that's not really a complaint, just something I would have done. So anyway, work your way up the shank here, touching turns. Maybe pull this dubbing back a little bit for every turn. Like so. And here you can see the part where I put in more dubbing. So the fly will naturally get a tapered underbody here. Whoa. Slipped off. There we go. This dubbing is flying everywhere here still. So here you can see it. Let's brush out some of this. And it actually came up a bit short, so I'm going to cheat a little bit here and put something on my thread on my thread, because I don't want in that much of the badger here in front. So brush this out as well. Like that. Make another dubbing loop. Make sure the loop is closed. Get the thread up to the eye there. Get on the twister here. Like so. And then I've already prepared some of this badger in my hackle pliers. That's not true. In my material clamp, this is a material clamp. This is a hackle plier. Just to get that straight. It's in here, and the length I want it to be just right around this point here at the tail. So what's that? A little bit longer than the hook bend, just to make the taper and everything look right. So get that into the loop. at this point you have to be a little bit careful that your material doesn't slide out. So here we go. And I actually think this is a little bit too much, but it's better that way, that you have a little bit too much in there. Like your bank account. Spin that up. Make sure to brush out any trapped hairs here. Give it one more spin here. There we go. That's looking nice. Let me transfer that to my hackle pliers. And then stay put. So get this one here going. Kind of moisten, you can moisten your fingers and then fold this back for every turn. And then just work your way up towards the hook eye. Like so. Two more in here. There we go. Catch that loop, your tying thread, and then just fold everything backwards. Get a few more securing turns in up front. Cut off the loop. And you can see it here, it's pointing in every direction, and also because of the dubbing underneath, it kind of builds a small, I guess a small bump, so the materials will stand out a little bit like this, but don't be alarmed. You could either fix that by tying on top of this a little bit if you want to, and you'd be fine. But I actually want to put on some eyes. Get that badger under control with some UV resin, because that's my jam. So let's get a bit finish in here. One will be enough. Cut off the thread. There we go. Out a little bit of dubbing underneath here so it blends nicely with the badger hairs. There we go. Let's get some resin. And you guys know what I like to do. I like to put a drop on my finger. And as always, if you don't want to do that, use your dubbing needle, something like that. Or I guess you could put on a pair of rubber gloves. Do what's right for you. Okay, so as long as you just work in some resin in the front part here of the fly, so you can manipulate this and make the perfect head shape. You can see it already here. So just pull this back a little bit, press it forwards again to get a drop shape. that. And I guess you could fish it just like this, without any eyes, but I think to really make this fly look perfect, it needs some eyes. A little trick to clean up this hair here in front is by using one of these. This is a thread sap, used in leatherworks to, you know, when they stitch a leather wallet or something like that, they would use this here to burn the thread. Of course, the fly doesn't know that. The thread sap doesn't know that either, so this is just a great tool to clean up the head of your fly here. By just burning off those forward-facing hairs. Now that's clean. It smells a bit funky, but it's clean. I'll make sure to link this down in the description if you're interested. So let's put a drop of resin on the side of the head there. Get on an eye, press it down a little bit. You can even use your needle if you want the head to be a bit more flat. Cure that. The other side. And this is just to get the eyes to stay put, so I can work on the head, on building up the head with resin. And I guess I get asked that all the time, how to get a perfect round head. And the secret really is just to keep building this up in stages, and make these steps that make it easier on you to build up that head. So just work a little with it. Take your time as you work with it. Everything should be just fine. So just putting on another thin layer here with my finger, because these hairs are so soft then that when I start working my way around here, it can kind of lift up the materials, which is super annoying. So if you get that first coating in, like I'm doing here, it's really easy just to build up that head. Like so. Let's get a coat on here. Whoa, a drop fell straight into the eye of the hook here. Just clean that out. Okay, now let's build up that head. Make sure you cover the eyes so they don't get torn off. Cover the thread here in front to protect it. Like that, and then just keep that fly moving in your vise. You have all the time in the world, unless guess you're doing this outside. I wouldn't recommend working with UV resin outside. That would be kind of stressful. And I guess that's how it used to be in the old days with epoxy. I'm not the epoxy generation. I haven't been tying flies for that long. But I imagine epoxy would have been a nightmare to work with. So when you're satisfied with this, just sap that head. And here you have one deadly little baitfish using badger and a little bit of hackle here in the back, where you could just leave this out and make a tail with the badger hairs, and that would work just as fine. But here with feathers and badger hackle in front. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do check out that members section. I'll even leave a link down below, together with the thread sapper here and some other stuff. Thank you for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel, leave it with a thumbs up, hit me with some comments on future videos you would like to see or something like that, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.